So could you please briefly introduce yourself and say what university are you studying or you did?
So my name is Zarina, a long last name, Khudurganova. I do come from Turkmenabad, Turkmenistan, and I guess attended school number 29. And then I came to the States as an exchange student back in 2001. I stayed here for 10 months and then went back to Turkmenistan. After that, I worked, saved up enough money to come back to the States, and I came back to Houston, Texas. And I started off at the community college, getting my prerequisites completed, and then I transferred to the University of Houston. And now I am 1 year away from graduating from University of Houston with a Bachelor's of Science in Petroleum Engineering.
Oh,
So I
I'm kind of
should be done
jealous. I have
soon.
a year and a half ahead. I'm just a junior.
Well, I say 1 year if I pass all my courses. It doesn't really mean that if.
Okay, I'm sure you will. So, and what was the name of your community college?
Houston Community College,
And the name of your university again?
University of Houston. Everything is related to Houston. I've never left.
And you were a flex student at Houston.
No, no, I was in Sparta, New Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, and how did you choose your college and how did you choose your university?
Well, for me, for the most part, it was very much related to my major, which is petroleum engineering. And if you want to study something in energy, then, Houston is your best bet. Well, Texas overall is your best bet because entirely Texas schools, they're not much focused on liberal arts or business. It's all engineering, a lot of energy, a lot of oil and gas. So then, of course, the fact that schools are so much cheaper here in Houston rather than, let's say, if you go to California Tech and you try to attend school in California, the living expenses are just ridiculous. And then unemployment and, all of those factors did impinge like to the decision-making process. And then I thought, why not? Houston is considered to be a capital of the world in energy, and therefore I just thought it's cheap, plus it serves my purpose. Why not? So I had my friends help me out with an invitation letter.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the other thing that I liked about Houston Community College, it's open door policy, so open admissions. I didn't have to take no entry exams or TOEFL or SAT, none of that.
Wow,
All I
that's
had,
surprising.
yep, all I had to do is provide financial statement that I do have enough amount of money in my bank account, or I do have a sponsor. In my case, it was a sponsor and passport copy, and there's a list of things, and $75 non-refundable fee for the application. And I forwarded everything to my friends, and in the matter of like less than a month, I had the I-20 in my hand, the invitation letter.
So you're talking about the document that shows that you have a bank account, and my question is, if you use that document to get visa in back in Turkmenistan, or did you use that document during application sending?
I Okay, well, in my case, my brother-in-law, my sister's husband, is my sponsor. So he provided his bank statement stating that he has more than $40,000 in his bank account. And then there is a fit of it. There's a form called I-134 that he had to fill out as my sponsor. And he did, telling them that, throughout my education experience here while I'm attending school in the United States of America, he's willing to provide any financial assistance if there will be any need, which includes my tuition, my living expenses, my books, whatever it is that the form is requiring. So he signed off on that, letting
Letting
them
to whom
know
know,
that he's my
like to
sponsor.
university or to embassy?
Well, first you start with the Houston Community College. That's where you obtain your I-20. So you have to convince them first that you do have enough funds to attend school. Because what happens is your community college, your college is actually responsible for you. Therefore, you have to give it to them, and they further on send it to
I see.
immigration
And then it
services
goes to
here.
embassy and
Mhm. So this is not related. This is just to get your invitation letter. Embassy is completely different. Embassy you handle on Turkmenistan side. It's yeah. This
yeah.
is strictly to get your invitation,
The
which is
reason I'm
called.
asking that question is because I heard a lot of stories when people saying that you need to prove to Turkmen embassy that you have enough money before they permit, they give you visa. So it guarantees that you return back and that you don't stay in the States.
Well, yeah, the U.S. Embassy in Ashgabat. Yes, you have to, but that's a separate issue. That's once you apply for your interview. That's when you apply, like when you fill out that application online and
You got
process.
admitted,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
after
yeah.
that,
You have to. Mm-hmm.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, and if that's not a secret, could you please tell us? Because this is the most interesting part. How did you manage to arrange paying for tuition, like in community college, and then when you transferred to
Okay.
university?
Okay, this is very interesting and complicated matter. Because I was an 18-year-old kid, I actually worked. I worked in Turkey, I worked in Russia, so I saved a lot of money. When I say a lot meaning that it would last me at least 2 semesters. So I knew that living, well, the tuition itself for community college, as an international student, you're supposed to be 12, taking spring and fall semester, you have to be full time, which means 12 hours, okay, as a minimum. So that costs you around $2,500. Now it's $3,000 because they actually require you to have health insurance, which is another $500
So
per
those is
each.
for 2 semesters.
No, 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 it's per each semester.
Okay, I see.
So let's say when you pay for your fall semester $500, it covers your health starting August up until December 20th. Then you pay for your spring semester, and that covers you from January to August. So the spring semester actually covers you for all 8 months. While you're in this country, you're under that coverage for the insurance. Then it was $2,500 plus the insurance. So obviously the apartment, which is another $300 per month.
Month.
Yes. Then grocery, I would say food, from 200 to 300. I like to cook myself, and I don't like fast food. I do not eat outside because it's disgusting. I mean, and it's just not good for you. So I preferably cook at home, and that will get you $300 should be okay.
Per
So
month.
yes, per month. Then for the first 3 years, I did not have a car, so I didn't have car expenses, but I would take bus. And with the student discount, you can, let's say a normal fare with the buses here, it's $1.25 in one direction. So being a student, you can get a discount 50%, so you pay only 60 cents. And the beauty of this is that you get a card, right? So once you enter the bus, you scan your card, and that card, that 60 cents, can last you 3 hours. Let's say you have to transit I used to take 2 buses and one train. So that would, like, in one direction, I would go maybe for 2 hours, hour and a half, and those 60 cents would last me. Um, First semester, obviously, I paid myself. I had money saved up. I actually had money saved up for 6 months, because I knew it was going to be my first semester, and all I want to do is focus on school, nothing else. Then, starting, I came here. Mhm. Yeah, yeah, I'm going like from the community college up to where I'm at not right now. So,
Sorry,
mhm.
you mean this for community college? We're talking right now about community college.
I'm going like from the community college up to where I'm at not right now. So, I came in January 2009. Let's say spring semester, I paid for everything. I covered my expenses. And in the fall, end of September of 2009, I found a job on campus because international students are only allowed to work on campus of your school. So I got a job with the dean of student services at my college, and that job I was allowed to work only 19 and a half hours a week, which is part time, and that would pay me around $600 to $800 a month. And yeah, so that pretty much covered my expenses. And then and of course, in the when there's a break, you're allowed to work 40 hours, which allows you to save a little bit more money, and that
And then on
yes,
campus again.
absolutely, absolutely, on campus only. And then that will allow you to come up with extra money to put towards your next semester tuition. But then I got lucky because I mean I had experience. I worked a lot, so they liked my work ethics. And the assistant dean, what she did, she came up with the grant money for me. And as soon as she did that, spring 2010. So I only had to pay for. So I had to pay for spring 2009 and fall 2009. In starting spring 2010, I actually had a grant money, and the school was paying for me.
How did that happen? What kind of grant did you receive, and what did you do to receive this grant?
I honestly, it's nothing that you applied for. It just happened from the dean's office where I used to work. They knew that I'm having problems with paying for school, and at the same time trying to pay for my apartment. So they just came up with that money. They had some money sitting in their budget, and they just helped me out like that. But yeah, it's not common. It doesn't happen all the time. It's just, I guess I can
Interesting
tell you
story.
that I got
Yeah,
lucky,
so you
very
didn't
lucky
even
for
have
them to
to
pay.
ask, and uh,
Oh, well, of course I did. Of course I had to ask. Of course I had to tell people that, I am having financial difficulties and that I need some help. But I just didn't know what outcome it's going to be. I was actually trying to see if I could possibly get $500 or $1,000 towards my tuition, whatever. But then it just happened that
like while
they
listening to
had the
you,
money and they paid
thinking,
for it.
that it's ridiculous. I mean, I live in Bishkek, and you say that you used to pay 300 per apartment, and you used to spend like $300 for groceries, and that's how much we pay. But
Well, but see, when
right.
I tell you $300 per apartment, it means that I have roommates. Yeah, yeah. So, average apartment one.
So and after you got the grant from your dean, so did it cover all of your expenses for tuition? For tuition, and so it kind of you got full ride scholarship.
It's not a scholarship. They don't.
What's the
It
difference?
it it's somebody doing me a favor. Somebody, let's say, liking me on the personal level and helping me like that because it's not common. And especially for community college. Community college is very limited in their funds. They don't have much money to give out scholarships. So this is, I'm telling
Right.
you once again, I really got lucky for this woman to actually like me enough to help me like that.
So you had to work on campus, and you were lucky enough to get that grant. So, and that's basically how you arrange. And also you had some money saved up previously
Oh,
before you applied.
by God, by May or June, the money was gone. It was so yeah. It was like it lasted me only 6 months. 6 months plus my ticket plus this and that. But it did not last me
If
enough.
that's not a secret, how much money you brought with you? If
I had
if it is, then
I had No, no, no. no, it's fine. I had around 10,000.
10,000. The reason I'm asking that question is like, because money part is the most sensible issue for those who want to apply. And our interview, as I told, will be shown to teenagers who want to apply to the
Yeah.
States. So you got into university and you in community college, and you had to stay there for 2 years, right?
You don't really have to, but I wanted to because I was doing engineering classes, an engineering major. I wanted to get as many classes as possible at the community college, and the maximum credit hours that you can transfer from community college to university is 66, and it's only if your advisor at the university is going to accept those credits. Sometimes they don't, sometimes they ask you to retake some courses. So you have to really know school you're going to, what university you will be applying to. And you have to keep in touch with them so they monitor the classes that you take and they will let you know what exactly you should take or you should not. Let's say some schools do not like, let's say I took calculus 1, 2, and 3 at the community college. Some schools would say, some universities would say that they want me to take calculus 3 at the university, and so that's the difference. You have to know where exactly you're going, where exactly you will be transferring from the community college to be successful, in terms of transferring your courses. So getting getting accepted to the University of Houston was one thing, but the other thing that you can do, there's some organizations, student organizations that offer scholarship, transfer scholarship, and I got you have to have good grades. Your GPA is
Pretty
supposed to
tough.
be between 3.5 and 4.0. So once well, it's okay. Once you get that
Say it again.
GPA, you get
Yeah, if you could
accepted to
please
this
type it.
student organization, which is called Fight the Kappa, and I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna type it up for you because it's a little bit tricky. It's a Greek organization. I mean, it's international actually. So Fight the Kappa. I I got accepted to this organization, and then I think you pay was $90 or $75 for application, get inducted, and then once you transfer, um, and you tell them that you have the Phi Beta Kappa, you've been
I see.
inducted to this organization, you get a scholarship of $1,200 for 1 year. So they break it up $600 per each semester. And as international student, when you get a scholarship, an academic scholarship, an amount of $1,000, it reduces your tuition from international to in-state. So
I see.
originally my tuition was around $9,800. Yeah,
Like,
and then
like two
because
times
I
less
got
or
the
something like
scholarship,
this.
it was reduced to, hold on,
Cool.
it was like this, I think, with the fees and everything. So minus that
That you have to
$600.
that you had to pay yourself.
So I was down to
But it was
$4,600
doable because you
per
continued
semester.
to work.
Yes. No, that's the problem though, because I changed schools. I no longer could work for community college. I had to find a job on campus at the University of Houston.
Yeah.
But the problem with that was that, well, as always, you have to know people everywhere you go. And I didn't know many people at the University of Houston. So I still do not have a job at the University of Houston. And but you can do internship. Let's say if you find an engineering company
And you
that
got
can
that permission
hire you
because you
for
graduated
internship,
from community
then you can
college.
start working part-time there off campus as international student. No. That's not related to community college. That's because I found that company and that company hired me as their intern.
So if I
And
understand you right, if you're an international student, you have to stay on campus and find work on campus. But once you got an invitation from another company to work there as internship, you can go ahead and take it.
Yes, you can get that. You can take that, and as long as your grades are good, and as long as you can manage your schedule, then you're good to go.
Okay. So it's like 6 minutes to 8, and
Hmm?
it looks like we reached our time limit. And
You have any other questions?
yeah, I was just wondering, about your university life there. If you liked that, and if you could please briefly tell, you know.
University, it's very interesting. It's very diverse. I mean, Houston actually itself very diverse. In Houston, there are 98 languages that are spoken here, and my university is around 40,000 students, and recently it's been recognized as Tier One university. So we've been
What does that mean?
Tier One. It's academic recognition by the country. And yeah, so in the US, it's a rank. It's not Ivy League. It's not like Notre Dame, or it's not like Stanford or Harvard, but it's getting there. For a public school, they're doing very good. And
While staying considerably cheap, it's going up there.
I see now the prices are going up because we got this time. And the requirements to get accepted to the university are getting very high as well. So it used to be very easy to get accepted, not anymore actually. And
Are there many students from Central Asia there?
Kazakhstan, yes. I'm the only one from Turkmenistan at the University of Houston at this point. The main,
Any people from Kyrgyzstan
I don't know.
or other stands?
Yeah, a lot of stands, but because of school, like school is so busy, like you don't get to communicate with many people. But yeah, in Houston, there are a lot of people from stands, a lot.
So did you get any friends? Like, despite it was difficult to communicate, and despite the fact that the school is so
No,
big.
no. I never have problem finding friends. I don't need them. That's the thing. I have too many, so I actually try not to because I mean it. Yeah, we can hang out, we can whatever, but not during school. I'm on the mission. I need to graduate. I need to stay focused. And yeah, my classes are very tough, very difficult classes, and that's why you know, for each hour that I spend in the lecture, for 1 hour spent in the lecture, I multiply that by 4 hours to do my homework.
I see.
So yeah, that's why one class is like a full-time job.
Okay. How about your community college? Was that
Uh,
different
yes,
environment?
yeah, absolutely. In the university, as you know, like in the hall, like in the auditorium, you would have 300 people sitting, and in the community college, it's not even 30. So there's a huge difference by approaching your professor. Your professor is available to you at any time that you want to. You get so spoiled at the community college, whereas once you transfer to the university, if you get to see and talk to your professor at least twice a semester, you're a lucky person, because they're so concerned with their research, and you just have teachers assistants that are like higher level students, and they're the ones to actually grade your homework, and they're the ones for you there to answer your questions. So
I
yeah,
see.
that,
Okay. Yeah.
that's a
That
culture shock once you transfer.
pretty much sad. Any other cultural shocks, like, when you got there?
Oh, no, 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 no.
Like, was it
Homesickness, of course.
difficult?
Homesickness is always something that gets to you, especially around holidays, because everybody's going home, everybody's, with their families and stuff. But you get used to it, I guess. And now I haven't been in Turkmenistan like for 2 years in a row. And as soon as I was actually telling myself once I fix my GPA and get good grades, I'll like reward myself by going home.
I see. But yeah, when does it start? Like, what's the experience? You go there, you study, and just on the weekend, every weekend, you start feeling that. So from
Not
the
from the
very beginning.
beginning. It depends. Okay, I see. Like in my case, I was in New Jersey. I was in high school here, so I knew the system and I know the culture and I
As a
knew
flex
all these
student,
things, so
yeah.
I had advantage and I knew where I was coming. But I guess the longer you don't go home, the better it is for you, because once you go home, you don't want to come back. Because I don't know, for some people, they just love it here. For me, see my family. I want to be a, I
Mm.
just don't want to have these problems where I have to pay for my apartment, where I have to think about what to cook, when to pay for the bills, and a lot of stuff. Whereas back home, your parents are taking care of a lot of things for you, so you get spoiled.
So yeah, the main reason to feel homesick is when you struggle for bills and you have your life uh, you face, and yeah,
Yeah.
I see. Yeah, quite understandable. Life is hard and it's pretty much difficult to be by yourself in a foreign country. But anyway, my last question is if you have some kind of advice for people from Central Asia, for young people from Central Asia who want to apply and follow your example, like go to university and try to get scholarship and pay by working, what you recommend?
Number one thing that I recommend is English. Definitely, they've got to be very comfortable. If they want to come here, not only for high school exchange, if they want to go to school here to the university, then first of all, English. Second, do a research. Make up your mind in terms of your major, what exactly you want to study, whether it's engineering, if it's liberal arts, if it's psychology, whatever it is that you want to study. Do your research and find find the most schools and narrow them down to 5 schools, I would say, and start working with those schools according to their requirements, because every school is different, and each school will have their own different requirements. So I would definitely suggest that. And then financially, even though, okay, the little thing is that even though international students are not supposed to work off campus, there are a lot of jobs on the table. It's doable. You can do it. You can dog sit, you can babysit, you can clean houses, you can work at restaurants as a waitress, and all of that. So it's available. It's here, and it's just not going
It's
to be
doable.
easy, but uh, exactly. Doable, and as I say, nothing good comes easy. So, I mean, if it's good, then you have to sweat for
Yeah,
it, then you have to
yeah.
work for it.
Well, your story is very interesting, and we certainly can learn a lot from your story about hard work, about facing difficulties, about courage. Because I mean, you had to go from Central Asia to completely foreign country for you. And, oh well, actually,
No,
you had
I mean,
sister there,
if
but
it's happening,
anyway,
then there's a reason why
uh,
it's happening. So just stick to that.
I see. So we covered pretty much everything I wanted to cover it. So thank you very much.